Unit 1, Lesson 1, kicking off math expressions with me, Miss Billman. I'm glad everyone is here. If you're watching this video, that means it must be pretty early in the school year, hopefully like the first day or second day. So number 1, it seems pretty straightforward, but we're going to be completing a multiplication table. Hopefully, and I'm like 99% sure you've seen one of these before, but a multiplication table looks at the columns and the rows. The rows go horizontal and the columns go vertical or up and down. So I'm matching the numbers. So I'm asking myself 3 times 2 is something, and that equals 6. The product of 2 and 5 is 10. The product of 8 and 2 is 16. A good way to remember these is to cross-check. So I went across and I counted, okay, well, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. That was another way for me to do that after I just did my 8 multiplied by 2 equals 16. I'm going to be doing the same thing for the next 4 through 9 rows. You will notice that 10 is not on here, which is, that's totally fine, because 10s, they're also something that should come very quickly, being as they go 10, 20, 30, 40, and so on. Now I'm down to my 5s. The cool part about 5s is that I know for a fact it'll either end in a 5 or a 0. 5, 10, 15, 20. It's similar to the 10s. When I get to the 6, this is when I really have to remember that anything with a 6 is going to be an even number. So 6, 12, 18, 24, 30, 36, 42, 48, and 54. 7s, so 7, 14, 21, 28, and so on. It's okay if your math facts, maybe you're thinking, oh, I maybe need a little bit more help with these. That's great. And never be afraid to ask for a multiplication table in class. There's nothing wrong with that. But always make sure that when you are doing your math facts, you're attending to precision. So what does that mean? Well, actually, it's one of the standards for mathematical practice. And attending to precision, so making sure you're not getting all loosey-goosey with these numbers. We want it to be absolutely sure that you have the right answer. If I were to go over a couple more columns and write the wrong number in there, that would not be attending to precision. And I'm going to have to do that in question number 2. So I'm finishing up number 1. That is just a straightforward basic multiplication table. But number 2, okay, so this is a scrambled multiplication table. This one's going to require a little bit more brain power. So they gave me one number of 5 in that column, and then the row of 4. So 5 multiplied by 4 is 20. Okay, cool, I got that one figured out. Well, I can go over to the 8. It's in the 1 row. So something multiplied by 8 is 8. So, something multiplied by 1 gives me 8, which is 8. So that column is now 8. Something multiplied by 4 gives me 36 is 9. I can also check that by going 9 multiplied by 1 equals 9. 1 multiplied by something equals 7, and the same thing with 1. If you like puzzles, I love puzzles. I love Sudoku or Sudoku, however you pronounce it. I do love that. And looking at ratios or anything in a multiplication table is very similar to that. You will see that these multiplication tables, whether they are scrambled or not, they will come in throughout this entire unit. And you'll really see them throughout the entire school year, which is great because it's not something you're just going to learn once and never use again. Knowing your multiplication facts or, division too, this is a foundational skill for math. And when you were in younger grades and you practiced subtracting and adding, it was the same thing, a foundational skill. You can ask anyone in my class and they will say that Miss Billman always said, if you can add, you can multiply. If you can subtract, you can divide. I really said that a lot. So I did 3 multiplied by 3 is 9 and 3 multiplied by 6 is 18. 7 multiplied by 8 is 56. 7 multiplied by 7 is 49. 7 multiplied by 1 is 7. Now I'm to the 8. 8 multiplied by 5 is 40. 9 multiplied by 5 is 45. 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. And 6 multiplied by 5 is 30. 6 multiplied by 4, 24. 6 multiplied by 7 is 42. 2 multiplied by 6 is 12. Final two rows. 9 multiplied by 5 is 45. 9 multiplied by 7 is 63. 9 multiplied by 6 is 54. Final row. 2 multiplied by 8 is 16. 9 multiplied by 2 is 18. 2 multiplied by 2 is 4. So describe a strategy for filling in the top row of the scrambled multiplication table. Now, I could tell you how I did it, and we can see what I end up writing, but I always ask myself when I'm doing this that I always ask myself, hey, there's a missing number. So what multiplied by what equals what? I know that sounds crazy, but if you say it with a number, for example, something multiplied by 3 gives me 15. So I'm going down my math facts and I go, okay, well, 3, 6, 9, 12, 15. Well, it's 5. 3 multiplied by 5 is 15. I could even do it with the number 30. So it's in the 5 row. 5 multiplied by something equals 30. Well, that equals 6. It sounds a little confusing when I'm thinking something multiplied by something equals something. Eek, that's a lot to take in. But when you break it down and you plug in the numbers that you have, such as 9 multiplied by something gives me 45. It's the same thing. When we get further in the book, we'll call those, it could be a variable, and you'll see that the longer we go. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in class.